Good morning, everybody. It is so beautiful here on the Cindy Cochran Show. Not in the Cindy Cochran Show, but outside. We've got beautiful weather, and we have experienced that. Really, it's fall-like. To anybody else, it would be fall-like, but to us, it's almost like winter because it got below 70. But it's going to get cold this weekend. I heard that we have a front coming in again, and it's going to be even colder, and I'm so excited. So I can't wait for that. And I hope that you are enjoying beautiful weather as well. Boy, has our temperature out in the streets been weird across the country because of the election. And hopefully that starts settling down, and maybe the cold and all that will cool people's temperature and get everything down. And everybody go back home and settle down and realize that it's time to accept, let go, and maybe we should be playing that song. And that, as Obama had reminded us, that elections have consequences, and that's what happens. And I think the big change and probably a big reality to President-elect Trump is starting to settle in, and that it's everybody just doesn't like you. You can't have everybody like you. But you can try and be likable and be nice and, conciliatory and all that. And but he feels like that the media is fair game. And I kind of don't blame him. I kind of don't blame that he wants to take on the media. That's pretty funny. I think that the media sometimes deserves it because of the things they say and that they do. And that, I think most Americans have some problems with what the media says. And right now it is I'm sorry, did you draw a breath? Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you what my favorite story was so far in the media is in Portland, Oregon. They're having riots, or not riots, more of protests and then riots. Mm-hmm. The local news station, KGW, in Portland, have reported that more than half of the anti-Trump protesters arrested in Portland didn't vote.
See,
at least 69 demonstrators either didn't turn in a ballot or aren't registered to vote in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that was kind of funny.
Yeah. I wondered that, sitting there looking at all those young people, like, did you guys even vote? And no, but we did find out that there were tests on Monday. And so a lot of those people said they were going to go protest. And
because if I was in school now, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm protesting. I'm not going to class.
Yeah, and they feel like there's nothing going to happen to them. There's no consequences to it. Nobody's being held accountable. But it's...
but go to class, people.
Yeah, go back to school and learn and study and see if you're in, which camp you want to be in, so that and you can talk sensibly about it.
It's funny, Cindy. I was wondering when they started, because the high schools were doing this. We're boycotting. Right. And I'm thinking to myself, when I went to school, and people were always like, college is a lot different, when you go to the next level of education. And some colleges don't require you to go to class. Mm-hmm. Some schools do require you to go to class. I went to school that did require you to go to class, and I think that's the only reason I've graduated in 4 years, because can you imagine if high school was not mandatory and you'd be
optional?
Like, same thing with college. But no, like, you still got to take the tests and stuff. Yeah. But I wonder what it would be like discipline-wise, because that's what helped me become more disciplined is I just have to show up, and then there's nothing to do for the hour besides listen.
Right.
So might as well just listen.
And then when people start, setting up their little tape recorders and just taping the class and walking out, I thought, now that's ingenious. Like, what can they, if they're not going to do anything to them? I couldn't in high school understand how you would feel walking into a
classroom full of recordings.
Yeah, or walking into a place of learning, and where there's professors and there's all these deans and stuff like that, and you be able to kind of do what you want to do. Then nobody's going to say anything to you. You're the one that's going to fail. They don't care.
Well, what's funny is you think about how public schools are structured to the point where, like, the STARS testing and things here.
Yeah, that's
how they kind of judge how the school's doing.
Right.
And when you look at kids just leaving school, imagine that. Like, I can't imagine what the percentage of people who wouldn't go to school if they didn't have to.
Oh, brother. Yeah. Well, I guess it's the rule that they should learn, and the other is that the parents have to work. So you got to go to school.
Well, yeah.
I
mean, look at when you go to college. My main thing was always we're paying for you to go to school, or you're taking loans. Like you're taking a burden,
right,
to go here. So you better go.
Right.
You better go to you better study. I remember I never forget my father giving me that ratio. Every hour of class is 3 hours of studying, and stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I never studied.
You didn't?
I
didn't
never
have to.
studied.
You were so smart.
No, I think I just listen. I'm a good listener when it comes to retaining information, and so that's what I'm saying. I went to class. I went to every class. I rarely miss class.
Were you a note taker?
No,
that kind of guy.
I listened. I just listened, and if I could show you, like where I did the worst is when anything we had to do reports on something that wasn't in class.
Right.
And I remember one history teacher I had who was the dean of history at the school. I actually, as a class, we complained. We sent a formal complaint to the school because what he would do is he'd make us buy these books that he wrote, and he wouldn't test us on the material discussed in class.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So when we go to test time, it would be from a book that we never talked about in class. So basically, in class, I just didn't really understand because basically we were arguing that the time he was doing during the class didn't reflect on what the overall class goal was.
Right.
And so he actually got in trouble for it because we proved that he wasn't on the test, had nothing to do.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he got because that's what's the purpose of teaching this curriculum and not testing over that curriculum.
And so
that was a big issue for me because I was like, man, I went to class, I said I listened to you, and I got this because there was an overall report on the in-class stuff, and then there was another side of the class that was his books and stuff, and I was like, man, this guy just likes selling his books.
Wow, isn't that something to think about? Because
and I actually made a C+ in that class, which was the average.
Did you buy his book?
Well, no, I mean,
you probably got
I wanted to pass,
a better
but
grade.
The average in that class was a B-.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do anything. I got a C+. So I felt proud of myself for that.
I bet your dad was like,
oh, he still believes every hour you have a class.
You were
studying
for 3 hours.
He's a study guy though.
Well, he's
also a lawyer, so that's what I mean. I can't imagine. Can you imagine being a lawyer today in today's world? To be good at it, going to school for 10 years or whatever, and you're sitting there studying all the time.
Yeah, and they never had the how to cheat the system 101. You never got to go to that class, and you get into the real world, and you go like, wait a minute, everybody's not telling the truth. I don't know what these guys are lying or what. I mean, do they cover that in lawyers class? I wonder.
Oh, they missed it because they protested.
They were out protesting. That's exactly right. Now, the thing about it is that along with this, it was stated during Trump's campaign that the sanctuary cities would have no more sanctuary and that kind of thing. And so now all the sanctuary cities are saying they're not going to abide by his law if he outlaws the sanctuary city.
Now, you can't say that, Cindy.
That's what he said.
They didn't say they had to abide by his law. They didn't say those words.
No, they said they would fight the...
Yeah, they'd fight it. They still have to follow the law. They're not saying, hey, break the law, folks. Even though they kind of are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that...
well, I think a lot of people don't realize, too, is they really don't have a say in the process. Locally, they don't. They don't. Because a lot of people are talking about the local police departments are saying these things. Well, it's not their job. Mm-hmm. That's not under their jurisdiction to do any of those things. So, I mean, you can say it all you want, but you don't have to do it. They're not asking you to do anything.
But they're allowing these people to come in, and they will not. They know that they're illegal citizens, and they will not, do anything. They're not going to call ICE. They're not going to call anybody. They're just going to let them stay there in their sanctuary city. And Chicago has said that they will always be a sanctuary city, no matter what Trump says or whatever. They if the law is passed or whatever, they will fight it. That's what I meant by they fight the law.
You get your quotes straight. Where are you getting this
it's
material?
It's not a quote. This is from the Judge Report. Godfather.
Oh,
Chicago will always be sanctuary.
He didn't write it, right? He doesn't write anything.
I know. It's just sources.
So you don't have to. So if you ever quote Drudge Report again, you're going to be wrong because he didn't do anything. He just literally copied a link. So you can click the link, and that's the source.
Right. But I'm telling you.
Can you imagine being a reporter, Cindy? You'd be a horrible reporter.
Shut up. I am. This is how This is what I'm talking about. But I do listen to, and I go to different types of sources. So it's not only the Drudge Report that I go to, but this is the headline, and then he gives the headline, and then you go find it and look at it. And I'm just saying that the LAPD chief said,
so you're a headline reader?
No.
Are you part of the problem?
No, if
with
it's
the mainstream
interesting
media?
enough, and I'll go to it. If the poll says, this poll says 70% of voters do not believe media honest and truthful. I believe that. I believe that that's the truth. So I don't go look into it any more than that. But a lot of things that, I mean, you just see so much stuff coming at you about the way people are responding to this election. And it's so interesting to me to look at what people cannot get over and then what they're going to start trying to fight. The sanctuary city thing, and you're going to fight that. In fact, Trump has just said that he's just he's going after all the, anybody that's bad. These are the people that need to be in jail. Those people that need to be taken out of the country. Those people, the criminals, will go first. So listen, we got a lot more. We got some nostalgia stuff coming up on the Cindy Cochran Show, which is real reality radio.
The Cindy Cochran Show. The first.
SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County is a 501c3 all-volunteer-based rescue and adoption organization with a no-kill policy for healthy and adoptable animals. Our goals are fourfold: to rescue and rehabilitate homeless animals, to provide a safe haven for the animals until a suitable adoption or foster care home is found or until they are reunited with their owner, to educate the public about the great need to reduce pet population, which includes the importance of having their pets spayed and neutered, and to further the cause for humane and responsible pet ownership, and to provide a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for people who are unable to afford to spay or neuter their pets otherwise. SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County encourages you to think adoption first. You can contact us at www.spcaofmc.com.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
The Cindy Cochran. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Wow, was I hot on that mic? No, I've got my volume up too loud. My bad. Okay, listen, I also have to give a disclaimer here that when I said that Chicago's mayor has said we will always be a sanctuary city, that came from, I was kind of quoting the Drudge Report instead of going to the CBS Chicago. It's Channel 2 News there in Chicago did this report, and so the report is from them that says that Rob Emanuel has said that he will always be a sanctuary city. This is what they're reporting. He said, and that so I don't know how they're going to get around that. I'm interested to know how that will happen, and if and I want to find out if Houston still considers itself a sanctuary city. That would be very interesting as well, because but I'm not going to report that until I have in front of me saying that the Chronicle, which we all believe in, that they always tell the truth about things. This is what's going to be difficult, though, Richard, is that people have no sense of security with reading what a news outlet says and thinking it's true or not. They're really going to have to see the fruit on the tree bared out because the tree's not telling the truth all the time.
Well, I think it's also the way social media has turned into consuming content. I mean, there's a huge discussion right now with who's getting appointed what, and one of the media, Breitbart, all that kind of stuff, and all those links, all those websites. If you look at it from a journalistic point of view, look at what's going on. That's what's kind of confusing to me right now. Because a lot of the internet sharing links, but they're not links of journalism. It's just a guy's opinion,
right?
And I'm like, well, why is everyone taking this to truth? It's like typically Huffington Post article, it's in like an opinion piece, typically, because it's some freelance writer writing,
right,
and things like that. And sometimes there's good ones, sometimes there's really bad ones. But I think if you like 80% of the time you read an article online, you can tell it's biased, and just like research the author and all that kind of stuff, and especially look at his sources. I love the ones that don't give any sources; it just has quotation marks. And
then you should love my show. I don't know why you don't love my show.
So this is the Cindy Cochran Show, the show with just quotations.
There's just quotations. Believe it or not, we'll just say it like that. No, but the bloggers, you feel like have no authority but it's just their opinion on it.
Well, you look at it, too, is look at the certain words that are being used today that have never really been used, and then it just sticks.
Which words are those?
Well, just all the bad. I can't repeat them on the air, but people would get name calling, and that name calling sticks.
Right.
And it sticks, and there's nothing to back it up. It's just sticking. I mean, on both sides of the argument. Right.
I mean, I think Drudge used that. Trump used that, and Hillary as well. When they say, he's dangerous, he should never be near the nuclear code, the codes and all that.
And then he said the same thing about her.
Yeah, and she needs to go take a nap and things like that they said back and forth are terrible. And during the, what they started thinking, this psychology behind this is kind of strange that it really works, because when Trump was in the primaries,
the data came out, from my opinion, is that people got so sick and tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't want to go vote.
You think that's why a lot of people?
Well, I mean,
I think a lot of people went and voted, though.
Look at the numbers between 2008 and today. It's like half.
Okay, but now that's
like
totally
half the voters.
Okay,
turned out.
I agree that probably people, especially as the things came out about Hillary being
reopening, the Republican turnout has been the same for like the past 3 elections.
No, because Romney's, he had just as many people come out for him as Romney, but he had flipped some states that they had never been flipped before.
No, you're talking about electoral college. I'm talking about overall voting.
Right.
The number of people who came out and voted.
Right. But the fact or the base is there are more Democrats than there are Republicans
who are voting, because that's the strength of campaigning is you can go to a rally all you want and talk to the people who are already going to vote for you.
Right.
But the question is, are they going to go actually get up out of their seat and go vote?
Well, but see, I think with Trump and the rallies had more, to me, there was more evidence that they would go to vote because of how long they have to wait in the lines, how long these things are, and then go back and and get in their car and sit in the traffic and go. He was drawing people. It seems like to me he was drawing people.
Well, I mean, people, of course, are going to go vote, but it's about the turnout of how many people showed up. So
right,
and then the numbers right now, like they're nowhere near 2008 on both sides. I think the Democrat side actually doubled. In 2008,
and that was an unprecedented election as well, because it was going to be the first black president.
Well, this is the first woman.
That's
the same thing.
See, no, but people are saying, you know what? America's still just as biased against the women, and they're not ready for women to be president. They complained, and they based it on that instead of the fact that the luggage she was bringing to the show. It was just so. I don't think that's a fair comparison, but she could not energize that base to get out and vote, and that's why she went to the Star Power to see if that could help, and it didn't help. It didn't help. But she wanted it to help. So, but the deal is that it's now over. It's over, and I don't know if it'll ever be over, because we have to keep talking about, how mad the people are on the other side, and they can't get over this. And I heard this college student looked like he was a little older than most of the students, so he had to be like a senior type of college student. Sit there and throw a hissy fit about this is not right. This is not right. We need to abolish the Electoral College. We've got to go to the popular vote. She would have won, and this isn't fair, and just went on. So I am not going to support and recognize Donald Trump as my president. So I'm like, good luck with that. So that's the well-educated college student figuring out how he's going to react to this election. I don't get it. I think it's just, it's sad. It's really, really sad. And I watch them and go like, how long is this going to take? And if the snow comes, maybe they'll go. I don't go back home and figure it out and find a better way to go vote. Just like Richard, like you said, that they found a lot of them hadn't even voted yet. So you have no, voice in this, because you didn't even use the one voice you would have, and you didn't go do that. So, oh, well. Anyway, I have...
But yeah. No, I mean, I'm not kidding around with how many people turned out and voted. Like, do you want me to give you some numbers?
No, I don't think there was energy. That's what I was saying. I don't think there was energy. But I think on the Trump side, he created more energy than they had in the past for people to come out and get excited about we're going to make a change.
More people voted in the Republican ballot in the Romney race than they did in this race.
No.
Yeah.
That's not true. Well,
yes,
that's not what we're reporting. They were reporting.
I'm looking at the stats right here.
It's from
Wikipedia. And
they're saying WikiLeaks. It's from WikiLeaks. Wikipedia said that the
So yeah, right now, popular vote, Romney got 60,900,000 or 933,000, and then Donald Trump got 59 million.
Yeah, and Hillary got what?
Hillary got 59 million. She got 59,861,000. And Obama in 2008 got 69 million, and then in 2012 he got 65 million.
Okay.
So more, that's what I'm saying. More people turned out and voted the past two elections than they did this election.
Well, I'm just saying that it was going to be like the turnout was the main thing, and the Democrats kept talking about how many more Latinos were going to be voting, and they were energizing the black community and all that, and none of the stats were there, but that's what they kept reporting, and and it helped one side. It didn't help the other, but it did help Trump's side. I think that all that happened right before they actually went to the box, and she's claiming that Comey cost her the election, and so I don't know.
Where'd you hear that from?
Oh, please. Okay, hang on. Let me go find where she said this, that she believes that Comey was the reason she lost. I'll have to Google that, but I don't want to get off this YouTube. You're the one that started this. I didn't want to get off this YouTube page that we've got these things. I love listening to all the different theme songs from the 60s, 50s,
Well,
60s.
one thing I want you to know, though,
I knew
is
this.
they're still counting votes. So I bet it does go over.
I thought they did. I thought they finished that yesterday.
No,
Still
they're going to be counting votes for
Why
like 2
is
weeks.
that? What would keep? Are they doing like Martha? Give me the other stack over there. You can't find it, but that they don't have this.
Well, actually, what I
counted.
think it is, Cindy, is certain states have rules, and if you have a percentage of difference in a vote count, they have to recount.
That's probably right, but nobody said that they had to.
No, that's
recount.
my guess.
Yeah, they didn't say they had to recount, but I think,
No, I think it's their rules. It's
Yeah.
their law, their state law. If they have that close of percentage, they have to recount.
Yikes.
So-
Well, it's still, don't they have the machines to put the stuff in? Is
Well,
it
I
all
don't- I
paper
mean,
ballot?
I think every state's different. Like you can't even early vote in New York,
Right,
which is crazy to me. That's why they have the long lines.
right. You think of all places, that would be
Yeah.
the place.
Because the most condensed area of people. Mm-hmm. You think they would?
But didn't you love early voting though, Richard?
Oh, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Especially here in Montgomery County. They made it really easy to go Well, one thing I got to complain about it, though, is for some reason on election day, you have to go to your precinct.
Your what?
Your precinct, where
Okay.
you're like registered to vote.
Okay.
And I didn't really get that. You'd think it'd be the other way around.
That's right.
But,
yeah.
I mean, I thought that was kind of strange.
Yeah, I've
But-
always thought it was that big building there in Willis, the Willis Montgomery County Convention Center in Willis. But we have to go to that place and vote, and I guess I've always
Well, they
you know,
have a
early
map
voted.
online, mctx.org/election.
Oh, that is way too much work. But I thought
Really?
I
So
do
if
early
I got,
voting.
if I
now.
got Drudge to post it, would you look at it?
Yeah, I'd probably find it out through there, maybe.
But no, that's one thing that kind of blew my mind was you have to go you have to go to your register precinct, and I mean they make it easy for you to look, but a lot of people didn't know that, I bet. And when they just show up at a local because they saw a vote sign or something outside their school,
Yeah, that's right.
and it's like, oh, you're not registered here. I'm like, oh, well, yeah. So I'm glad I early voted. Oh yeah,
It is. It's the way to. It's like I think for people that order online for Christmas presents. It's
well,
gotta be the same
I
feeling.
know. I think the state of Colorado does mail-in votes, no matter what. Like you don't have to have a special circumstance; you can just mail-in vote.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
So, but then again, you're exposing yourself to multiple ways to fraud. I mean, it's not hard to see what a ballot looks like.
But what's it?
I guarantee you, they print it on like a voting for dummies type paper where it's like, oh, this is obviously a vote right here. Let me just open it up and change it real quick.
Well, what? But how much more is it open to fraud if they do everything online?
Oh, huge.
Yeah. So
There's really no way to do it right. I think that's one thing.
except
you
the
have to,
purple finger thing. I thought that was cool that they do. And
No, the only way they would be able to do it is they did it by DNA, and I don't think anybody wants to give up their privacy like that. And you go in and you get your blood taken or something, like a little
you
shot on your finger.
press the finger. Oh yeah.
That's really
So
the only
people
way.
start cutting people's fingers off and using those to keep so they can vote multiple times.
Well, it'd be kind of obvious. Yeah, I mean that's the only way.
Okay. So
Well, I mean that's the only real way to tell that they are registered to vote and things like that.
right. That's right. So
So
we have to come up with another way.
because
Richard.
one thing you're also taking away is voting is a right
Right.
of a citizen. So similar to why I think the Second Amendment is such a touchy subject, because everyone thinks it's a right, so you can never make laws on it. So same thing for voting. That's why a lot of people don't like the voting ID laws, because that's infringing on our right to vote, which is somewhat, I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, yeah, because you're making a rule on what everyone kind of understands as our freedom to vote, our right to vote. But now you're creating rules on my freedom to vote.
Well,
it might be logical. It might not,
you know,
but I'm just saying that's why some people have some issues with it, because
But you have to use your license to prove who you are and where you're
In
from
certain
and all that.
states.
No, for other things outside of voting.
Well,
So you think voting is more important.
those other things are not a constitutional right.
But that's right. But
So, yeah,
it's so
so-
important to know that you're a person that is supposed to
Oh,
be
yeah.
voting in this state, in this
Well, of course,
county
people
or whatever.
who are bad are going to take advantage of any circumstance.
right.
So, but I'm saying that's why this subject is touchy.
And that I think they can.
Because I think if you're okay with having there being one rule, that means you can have multiple rules down the road.
Well, but
You're
here's
okay
the
with
deal.
it. You're
Here's the
opening
deal.
the door to it.
They need to make it very simple for people to get that photo ID. That they go to the old folks' home and they take a picture and do a photo ID of that person, so they have that to vote.
Yeah, people are afraid of that's invasive of privacy right there.
Oh, that's so untrue. They'd love to have somebody come take their picture. You're crazy. Listen, we have to go to another break. We talked right through that and we didn't get to the nostalgic thing. We're going to do it when we come back. See how many of TV theme songs you can remember on the Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio. We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today. So remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org. That's JUNQUE for more information and store hours.
Hi, I'm Mike Sasser, your host of the Health Hour right here on Lone Star Community Radio. I'd like to invite you to tune in to my live show each Wednesday starting at 1 p.m. I like to say it's an hour of health news you can use. Be a part of the conversation by going to MikeSasser.com and clicking on Contact Mike for my email, Facebook, and Twitter links. The Health Hour with Mike Sasser every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on Lone Star Community Radio, your local source for healthy living.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. Through our Operation School Bell program, we have provided new clothes to over 50,000 students in our county. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
We're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for listening. I know you have a choice. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 to 11. And we're also on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1. And you say, why do you have two calls? You know, why do you have two of those? Why do you have two stations that you have to go through? Well, there's just so much to talk about, so little time. No, it's we're covering an area in the Montgomery County area and the lake, and we got people all over that want to hear us, but so we have to, you know, have that spread out to New Waverly, to 242, and our family here. You know, this is we've got about 200,000 people that potentially we can reach. So it's exciting for us to be on here. So if you're listening to us over the internet on irlonestar.com and you want to go get in the car, but you don't want to miss anything, and you live in this area, just get on that. Or you can get on your phone and get the app so that you can listen wherever you go with the app on your phone. But anyway, we're here and we're trying to get so many places that you can watch and listen to us. And then there's also coming soon to Suddenlink on Channel 12 here in this area. Will be the Cindy Cochran Show and all of our Lone Stars lineup will be here so that you can sit and watch us be silly and be crazy. And speaking of watching, we are right next door to Conroe Coffee. So if you're looking for some really amazing coffee, it's run by Leo. She's from Britain, and she's so British, and she's got a shop that makes you feel like you walk in there and that's where you are. And so if you want to come to Conroe Coffee and come in, there's this side of the store where people come and sit and eat and the fabulous food they have. And then you can shop for all different quaint little things for the holidays. But you come in there, and there's this long stained glass window, and you can sit there and watch us, and then they can go on to a lot of people bring their computers in there, and they can go on and listen to us over the computer and watch us. It'll be so much fun. So we are broadcast on on the sidewalk outside. So people come by and they look up and they hear the sound, and then they look in here and see us. And it's kind of like old school, because they used to have radio stations where they were surrounded by glass. They'd be downtown, and people could go and watch their favorite DJs or whatever and watch the shows being done. So anyway, those are all the different places that you can find us. But on my Facebook, the Cindy Cochran Show on Facebook, you go on there and find out what's coming up that day, or find out things about the people that had been on and you want to hear them. I'll send you to my archive. You can go to YouTube or to SoundCloud and search The Cindy Cochran Show and subscribe, please, to my channel. And then you can hear all the shows that you may have missed. And you start thinking, well, if she said that this day, what would she have said tomorrow? Or what did she say yesterday? And it's all there for you, all there for you. So anyway, now I wanted to get to some of the nostalgia of the 50s, 60s, and the theme songs from TV shows. And you heard them so many times. Now, I could not give you one whistle or hum any of the theme songs of some of the today's popular shows. I couldn't do that. And so these were so memorable, and I think even someone like Richard's age or younger will recognize a lot of these theme songs. I'm just going to play just a few seconds of each one, and or Richard's going to play a few seconds of each one. I mean, like, what do you think? 5-10 seconds? That'd be plenty, right? I'd say 10 seconds. Okay. All right. So here comes the first one, and see if you remember this one. That's all you needed was that. That's all. In fact, probably within 2 seconds, somebody would know what that was. Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone was so much fun to watch. It was like the weirdest show that we had ever seen in the early 60s when that came out. But we'd never seen anything like that. It was so bizarre, and I loved it. That, along with Hitchcock Presents. Because we loved Hitchcock. He thought he was great. And then when he came out with the TV series, which was it had all the weird twists like his movies did. Okay, now the next one, Richard. Here it comes. Uh-oh. How many people tried to learn that song? That was such a great song. The guy that actually did the whistling of that song came to my daughter's school and sat up there and whistled that song, and that was his presentation. And everybody just kept wanting to do it over and over again. And he tried to teach him like the first part of it. But wow, what a song. It was just whistled through. In the 40s, there were a lot of songs that would have whistling in it, and it was a big deal. And my mom could just whistle like the best, and she could whistle all kinds of songs. And so she went to a little recording studio. They'd have, you go in there, and that big plastic, disc, and she did it. She recorded her whistling a song, and then we heard it, and we thought our mom was just as, like, this is great. She's like Elvis Presley. She has a record. This is so exciting. But that was the song, and that I think that this one would have been great for anyone to learn. Cindy, my granddaughter, has learned this song, and she can hit the notes and do all that. And it's just, people just like, do it again, So it's fun. And that song, and it just lifts everyone's spirits. Everyone's spirit is lifted when they hear that, because the Andy Griffith Show was like the best show of all. And it kept being played over and over in the 90s. I went to church and they played parts of the Andy Griffith Show and used it as part of the lesson. So that show just doesn't go away, and it's still being played. And the Enquirer came out, the National Enquirer came out and talked about the secret lives of Andy Griffith and Don Knotts, and that they had the womanizing their way through Mayberry, and that they were playboys, and that they cheated on their wives and dated other people. But the one thing that was only interesting about that, who knows if that's true or not, but the one thing that did stand, because there was so much detail about, is how much Andy Griffith fell for the lady that was the teacher that was his girlfriend throughout. And he never had, I guess he had like 2 girlfriends or stuff, but this was the one that stuck and was with him for a long time, that they really did have this deep love for each other. And that was really like a love of his life. His real marriage was very rocky. He was married like 3 times, Don Knotts a couple of times. But when Don Knotts when he died of lung cancer, Andy Griffith was there and held his hand, told him how much he loved him. And the reason that Don Knotts had left the show was not, they still had a great relationship, except that Andy Griffith was not going to pay him, as much as he was making. He felt like because he was like the producer of the show, and so he needed to make more money. Well, Don Knotts got mad and left the show and started making movies. But he was there whenever Don Knotts died and told him that he did love him. And so that was so sad, but boy, was that the most recognizable song. Now here's a couple of others. Okay, Richard, go. Okay. That song just epitomizes during that period of time. Mission Impossible. And I wonder if Tom Cruise and their company has to pay royalties to whoever wrote that song. I mean, that's just a continuation. They have to pay those royalties. That must be amazing. Okay, we need to end with this one. Just this one more. Adam West. Man. I see they give it away. But my nephew, Cash, who is 4 years old, great, amazing fan of Batman. First time he saw this, he went, "That's not really Batman. No, he's a cartoon. That's not Batman." He knew the difference, and that was not, that wasn't real. That wasn't true. But that show was such a, I was in high school, and everybody loved that show. They thought that show was great. And that a lot of people that didn't know, when they saw Pulp Fiction and John Travolta do the dance with looked like the bat dance that he did, and that came from that show. I love this. I just love these. This comes from go to YouTube and the best of television theme songs, and they've got all of them. I mean, all of them. Do you think maybe we could go to break on that next one? Would that be possible? No? Okay. Well, this is the best theme song of all that's coming up to go to break. Hear it? That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. We're going to be right back. The Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympic Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Have you set a goal to get a new job or get promoted? Have you ever been frustrated with resumes or job interviews? If you want to ace a job search and make more money, or just love what you do for a living, tune into Your Career with Todd Bermont, Fridays at 2 o'clock. Each week, noted author and creator of the Careers College, Todd Bermont shares tips, news, interviews, and secrets you can use to further your career. Tune in Fridays at 2 o'clock p.m. on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and IRLoneStar.com.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the most opinionated talk show on radio.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. You know, yesterday, Golden Corral did a great thing. They served all the veterans for free between the time of 5 and 9. And I was I went by there, and I couldn't believe how crowded it was. It was so crowded, and it was wall to wall, and there were happy people, and everybody was sitting tables together, and it was because of the room, and it was amazing. And I mean, the food, it's like he put some extra love in it. It was really good. So so many places did that. They're not the only ones, but so many places did that for the veterans, and I really hope that Trump will do what he said he was going to do, and make sure that the veterans are taken care of, and that they kind of turn that whole department upside down and get these guys what they need, and sooner service than later, because they have to wait so long, and that has not improved like they hoped it would. So hopefully something new coming in, and they can shake that up and get that going, because when we found out on the Cindy Cochran Show, we did have people in and talk about the veterans that we have here. You know, and I don't think I don't see any veterans on the street. I don't see anybody, begging for money or anything like that. But I found out that there were so many veterans that were living in the woods around here because they didn't want to ask for anything. They didn't want to ask and feel like they were having to beg for anything. Of all people that should be attended to, taken care of, are the precious people that have fought for us, and so many people that are, that have been wounded and that need the help, and that mental problems that we've found that they've had to deal with, that we're not there for them. And we have so many charities here, and we have charities that are going out and searching for those people to try and bring them in and give them what they need to get back on their feet and be able to get back into society. Not saying that society is that great sometimes, and some places aren't, but you can make your own way and make your decisions for yourself and what you need to do to get yourself and your family self back on the road again. And we appreciate all of our charities here. They're so great. They just want to go in and make that person feel like we're not trying to, to give you a charity in the way that you've always thought charity was. This is just, we have got something that you need, and we want you to have it, and we want to help you get back to where you were. That's all they're trying to do. And if you've ever been to a place like CHOP, house. It's Conroe's House of Prayer. But those people there, like on Wednesdays, I know they do this every day, but on Wednesdays especially, I've gone in there and seen how many people are fed and how warm it is and how wonderful it is. And so, and they're all over. I'm not just picking out just them, but boy, those people deserve, well, they probably get more rewarded than even the people they serve. It's just, that's what volunteering is all about. So if you've ever felt like this is something I want to help, I want to do something, I love our veterans and we want to try and help you, all you have to do is to come to downtown Conroe, go to the Chop House, and there's places like Angelic Resell and over in that area that you really would just feel so good if you went to volunteer in those places. They're just wonderful, wonderful people and wonderful places to go. So anyway, I just wanted to do that shout out. Hey, if you've ever wanted to have an office space facing the White House and you think, but I don't want my business to be in Washington. I want it to be right here in Conroe. You actually can do that. And Richard's looking at me with furrowed brow. You know what I'm talking about, Richard? Can you guess?
No.
Okay, listen.
You mean the Spirit of Texas Bank?
Oh, you got it. They're building a new building and they're saying that they're going to lease this to office space and all. And if you had an office space there, you could look out your window and see the White House. And it's not the White House, but it's a replica that's so true to form of the White House. You feel like, hey, here I am. This is the most beautiful building. And that it's done here in downtown Conroe. The first time I drove by it, I was like, what? There it was. And it was amazing. I couldn't believe the Star of Texas. The Texas Bank, the Star of Texas Bank.
Spirit of Texas
Spirit.
Bank?
I said the Spirit of Texas Bank.
That's not a sponsor right now.
Well, I mean, they need to be. No, no, the Spirit of Texas Bank has done a lot of sponsoring of the shows here, and we love those guys, but it just hit me like the star. Anyway, the Spirit of Texas Bank built their building, this brand new building in downtown Conroe. You would not believe this place is just, I mean, it has, even on the rooftop where the snipers would stand in Washington, D.C. on the White House. It's beautiful. And now they're building office space and they can look right out onto it. So if y'all go down 105, look for it. You cannot miss it. You can't miss it. Okay, guys, it's Tuesday. Now tomorrow's Wednesday, and we'll be back because we'll be here all week long. Please come back and join us on The Cindy Cochran Show and go to my Facebook, The Cindy Cochran Show. Real Reality Radio.
Going on.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schissler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schissler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.